Okay, now the mic is on. Wait, is it on? Yeah, it's on. Okay, hello, welcome to Mither's first stream of 2023. Not horribly late, either. um, I decided to do a talking stream because I went on vacation in December and I decided that I think it's interesting enough to talk about. I have some pictures I'm gonna show, but I also wanted to briefly talk about why I went on hiatus the last few months. I think I've kind of talked about it in the few streams I did in November. Was it November? Yeah. Wait, one? No, two? I don't remember. Very few streams in November, like that in that one marathon in December. But just kind of I don't know. I think it's just I never really talked about it. Maybe slightly venting about it too. I think it's a good idea and it's worth the content. Because my plan was to just have that consistent schedule past October into November, and then I end the year the big marathon in December. So yeah, so let's see what happens. So I gotta step back to September of last year, because for my job, we had known we had to migrate a system to a new. We had to migrate from one system to another, and I knew it was coming. And I knew it was going to happen, but we planned it all my manager and I planned it for it to be done in the last quarter of the year. And at first it seemed pretty doable. At first. There was a lot, and looking back I wish I had started this in August or July, but I couldn't convince my manager to do that. And what happened was the first thing I started working on took a month, and it was not supposed to take a month, but there was so much BS that came up that blocked me from finishing. It took a long time. And then the second problem was trying to get stuff into this new system was also a pain in the butt because we thought it was going to be not one-to-one change, but how do I say it? We didn't think it was going to be super complicated. And it quickly became very complicated because we kind of learned that the new system has less features. Less features for what we want to use, for what we did. And yeah, it was very clearly a money decision, not a feature decision, and it sucked. So that learning curve was very steep. And that's what basically led into the hiatus, me taking the hiatus in November. Because I basically just working overtime since October. I mean, I don't get overtime, I'm salaried. But I basically was working more than 8 hours a day pretty much since October until beginning of December, pretty much. It was just I was just going to overdrive every day. I was so exhausted every day. Not physically, but mentally. I was just so tired. So tired of everything. So it was just me doing all that, and I'm trying to help one of my coworkers who was trying to help me with it, and they were running into trouble. And it was just a constant, cycle of this doesn't work. Okay, now we try this. No, this doesn't work. Okay, we have to learn this. But no, we can't do this in the system. Okay, so what do we do? Well, we gotta do this, and then the documentation isn't very good. So then we're trying to actually learn on our own and not really rely on the team who's supposed to help us migrate documentation. And you can kind of see where this is going. It's an endless cycle of how do we do this? You can't. Okay, we gotta figure it out. Okay, how do we do this? No, you can't. Okay, we gotta figure it out. Luckily, putting stuff into the new system, we were using another team. There's two teams we were involved with. One of them was the migration team. The other was a team that was working with the migration team but not part of the migration team. And that team was, I'll call them Team B. There's Team A and Team B. Team A, not super helpful. We're still working with them, and they're still not that helpful. I think they're overworked, but I also think they're not very good at communicating. And that's a massive problem. That's a massive problem if you haven't guessed. Their documentation is not great. I don't want to go into it because I don't know how to translate into layman's terms, but basically, it's like a document was written for someone with knowledge of how this all worked, and then you give it to someone like me, an outside team person who doesn't have that knowledge, and they make assumptions that you already know all this, and we very much don't. And then they expect you to know it. And that's kind of frustrating, and it makes it a lot harder to learn. So that wasn't very great. But Team B, who was helping us get stuff into Team A's system, actually very helpful. And it was actually not too hard working with them to get that going, which is nice. It's like one less, one not pain point, one less pain point that I didn't have to deal with. And then we had to migrate monitoring stuff because the system deals with monitoring certain things for our team, and learn very quickly we can't do the same stuff we did in the old system with the new system just because it's not supported. And they were trying to give us fixes, and the fixes were not helpful. Yeah, basically I had to make sacrifices toward the end. I didn't finish everything I wanted to finish. I don't know if I'm ever going to finish everything that I wanted to finish for that migration. But there's still stuff that I have to take care of starting like the start of this year. Although, once I go down, it's going to be like another, I guess we'll call it a black hole of knowledge. Another black hole of knowledge I have to throw myself into. Which, me and my manager both know I'm not going to get anything else done once I start that. So, I haven't started that yet, and I'm working on other stuff. But that's basically why I just couldn't stream. I was just so damn tired, so exhausted. I had probably the capability to play video games, but I didn't have the capability to talk and play video games. And I'm not good enough at video games where my skill is enough to entertain. Like, I'm okay. I can learn I can learn, I don't want to say any video game, but I can learn most video games. And I can comment on it, but I can't just stay, I'm not good enough to just stay silent and let the game speak for itself. Well, maybe I'll try that one day. Just a no talking stream. Just gameplay. I don't know. Maybe. We'll see. But I just didn't feel like setting up everything, turning on the stream, talking, processing the game. I wanted to play the games because I needed to de-stress, but I didn't feel like talking and streaming. So yeah, that was basically the last half of the year. I'm looking at the chat box on OBS. I need to figure out how to get line breaks working because it's just cut off. I can see the full chat window on my main screen, but I look at OBS. Oh man, that cut off doesn't look good. I need to figure out YouTube CSS at some point or pay somebody. Yeah, what games did I play with I mean, it's like because the marathon was like Hades and Sekiro, and then I played Dark Deception Chapter 3 or 4? Chapter 3. 4. Second last chapter. No. Whatever the one with the rubber duckies. But then no, off stream it was mostly Fortnite, and I blame my friends for that. But it's also it's just like it's casual enough where I don't care. I don't care how I do. And also I can kind of shoot in that game, and I really can't shoot in FPS games in general. That's technically third person. But the point is I'm not good at shooters, and that one I'm like, okay. No, that's giving me too much credit. I'm a below average, but I'm not that bad. On a scale of 1 to 100, I'm a 40. There we go. That's a good metric. I should have got more water. I have tea and water. I should stop drinking the tea. It's making my throat. Well, it's just the sugar sticking to my throat. It's Fortnite, a lot of mobile games, Dokkan, NeuroCloud, Nikkei. Is that it? Oh, I guess Fall Guys occasionally. Like everything else I save for streaming, because I don't want to play off stream on those games. Because I don't want there to be like a skip, you know what I mean? Like a skip in time where it's just not quote unquote not documented, not recorded. Yeah. I think that recaps like the last few months of last year, the hiatus months. Yeah. Okay. So let's go into the vacation talk. So after the marathon stream, I left for Japan, and I love Japan for the food, for the culture, for the games, for the public transportation. I pretty much love. I not everything, but I love a lot of stuff about Japan. So I have pictures. I have some pictures. See if this works. That appears to work. Make sure. Yep. Let me see. Perfect. Okay. Yeah, that appears to work. So I have some pictures. I'll recap some of it. I'm gonna pretty much give summary version of what I did and where I went, and then the pictures accompany it. For some of it, for not everything I did, but for like most key moments. So let's see. The first thing I remember is when I arrived in Japan. The customs line was terrible. You're supposed to have like a fast track process with these QR codes. And I was like, we had 3 QR codes. For 2 out of 3 QR codes, yes, it was fast. It was fast and easy. But the second one, for whatever reason, I don't know if they didn't have enough people or they just, it wasn't as fast anymore. But there was a massive line. I would have been in that line for like probably over an hour if my dad, who I was traveling with, did not have a special business card that let him use a different line and he could bring me with. So I dodged a bullet there. So that was nice. So then we got to the hotel, and then this was one of the first few nights. We went to a standing sake bar. It is as it sounds. It's a standing bar. They serve 1 cup sake, and this is the first one I got. Because this was during the World Cup, so they had a Nyan cup sake. And it's like, oh yeah, that's cute. That's cute, I like it. You'll notice also you can see like the condensation on the cup. What they do at this bar is that they store this 1 cups. They have other alcohol, but sake is the main thing I go for. They have these 1 cups, and they put them in a freezer at a certain temperature. And then when you ask for it, they take it out, and then they, with the lid still on, they smack it like that. And when they do that, it crystallizes. It's not shown here because I drank some of it, and it's not that cold anymore. But it crystallizes, so you get like a semi slushy sake. And it's like at your first few sips are like icy. It's like a sake icy. That's better. That's a better term. A sake icy, and it's really good. They have I think like 20. No, there's more like 50 types of 1 cup sakes. It's like the main thing they specialize in, and they just have all different kinds. But I saw this one. Like this one has funny cat. Did I keep the cup? I should have kept the cup. I don't think I kept the cup. I know in the past visits, I think you can ask them to wash the cup so you can take it with you, but I did not. I took a picture. I figured pictures good enough, and also, I don't think I have a lot of room in my cupboards to store another 1 cup because I have some from a past visit. One of them has that bear, like that bear in the fire picture. He's like holding up his hands, with the red cheeks. Yeah, there was a sake cup with him on it, that Kuma, that bear. I have that, but I did not keep the cup. But I took a picture of cup, because cup is good. Probably should have taken it, but I was like, another picture's good enough. This bar also has yakitori, so you can order chicken skewers. And I think also like 1 beef skewer. And they'll grill it for you. They have the whole charcoal grill set up. And you can see them grill it live. Yeah, Kumamon. Yeah, that's the bear. That's the bear's name. There was I don't know if it was there this year, but there was a 1 cup with him on it. It, him, her, it. The bear's on it. Oh, before I go there, is there anything else about this? I did meet my dad's coworkers because he was there on business, and I went to some of his. I went to one dinner with his coworkers, which I'll go over when I don't think I put pictures of it in here. But I'll go over once I think I'm at that point. So I went to Akihabara, which is my favorite district in Tokyo. Whoops, there's only 1 picture of Akihabara. So I just took a picture of the billboards. I thought I took another picture. Maybe it's after the next one. But I didn't take a lot of pictures of Akihabara because I've seen it all before. But I love Akihabara. Love the arcades. I love the hobby shops. I like the billboards. I just said everything I love about it. The arcades and the hobby shops. I love arcades. There's not enough arcades in the United States. There needs to be more arcades, and we need to have Japanese games so I can spend money like them. But this one caught my eye. So this was in actually like two of the arcades, I think. they have a retro game floor, and they had Crazy Taxi. The original Crazy Taxi, not the one I've seen where they got rid of, where there's no in the copy, where all blah 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 blah. Oh, I can't speak because I'm so excited. It's the original Crazy Taxi with all the copyright stuff in it, the KFC, the Tower Records, the good music. Not the Steam version where it has none of that. It's the original, and you play with a steering wheel. So I just thought it was pretty cool. And I was like, oh shit! It's got Crazy Taxi. It's only 100 yen a play, and I have a lot of yen. So I've played a lot. I think my best ranking is like 60th, maybe 59th. I don't remember my exact score, but I got a C. Yeah, C. I got a C. But it was so much fun. It's like, oh my god, I'm back in one of my childhood games. I can't believe it's there. This is in the retro floor where stuff was like Time Crisis and old Mortal. No, it's actually not Mortal Kombat. Old Street Fighter. I did see the original Super Mario Bros. Gradius, some other racing games I never heard of. I was surprised this was up there. I mean, I guess it does count as a retro now. Just didn't think it would actually be here. But it is a Sega game, and Sega does have a big, or at least appears to have a big arcade share. Arcade machine share. They're in the arcade space, so maybe they paid for it. Oh yeah, there's the second picture of the Kiba. This is a different side, different buildings. It's the buildings are tall. Buildings are tall in Tokyo. It's also very clean in Tokyo, and the transportation's always on time. I love that. And there's vending machines everywhere. I can use my money to buy drinks and snacks anytime I want. Man, I love Japan. But yeah, this is just another. You can see like Ami Ami in the background. There's another Akiba store. There's other hobby stores up there. I think there's a few cafes. Ah, one of the Naruto rolls. Okay, so this was in. Sorry. Okay, putting away the tea. The tea is. It's almost done, but it's also just now working. I need to drink water. Okay, so the Naruto roll. This was in, I think, the subway station of Shinjuku. And there was a Naruto wall. I believe there's a Naruto exhibit going on, and the subway had the full... Well, not the full. They had a whole bunch of characters. I don't think it was all the characters, but a whole bunch of characters from the series on this wall. Stuff for all... I think they're all Shippuden. Yeah. All from Shippuden. I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. That day I was going to Shinjuku to go to Tower Records to buy some CDs. Because Tower Records still exists in Japan. And on the way I saw this, like, oh, that's cool. And you can't really tell, or maybe you can. You can see kind of like the specs on the wall. It's like one of those collage. Does it count as a collage? It's like individual pictures of like the character within that make up the big art. So if you were to walk up real close, you could see like it's individual scenes. I don't know if each character, but it's individual scenes from the anime, and then it's like, I guess, colored so that they match, or it's overlaid. I'm not sure how they did it, but it's like individual scenes from the anime that make up the entire big group picture. Ah, okay. So this is like second or third night dinner with my dad. So this restaurant, you can see there's a whole bunch of food laid out in front of you. You got beef skewers, chicken skewers. They have on that ice pile. There is fish and shellfish, vegetables. You got mushrooms. There's some shrimp, live shrimp actually, that they grill there. And you can see there's the guy on the paddle to your left. So what? I didn't get a great picture of, but the guy on the left of the paddle, what he does, he sits on his knees. In front of him is a charcoal grill that you can't see. It's right next to his legs though. And he grills all this stuff there on his knees. And then when he's done, he has that big paddle, puts it on there, and then swings the paddle over to you, and you take it off the paddle. He never, they get off for break and when they switch out, but he never leaves that spot. That's how they deliver the food. It's not everything on that paddle. Like if they have sashimi, you can order, and they don't cut it right there and then bring out. They have waiters for that. But almost everything else, everything that's on the grill, They cook right there on their knees, and then they swing over the paddle. Or if you want a beer, same thing. Put it on the paddle, and they swing it over to you. So it was packed. This is one like square-shaped table with everything in front, and to the right that I didn't get a picture of, there's another square-shaped table with two other chefs doing the grilling. And every time you order, you would tell them what you want, and then you would tell the waiter would then yell it out, and the chefs and all the other employees in the restaurant would respond with the same order. I can't understand what they're saying. I mean, I assume they're repeating. No, they are repeating what we ordered, but they yell it. You say mushrooms, then they yell mushrooms out, and everyone else responds, and they do that for everything you order. It's pretty cool, and the food's pretty good. The beef, I don't know if it's Wagyu beef, but the beef is very marbled. We had grilled mushrooms were good. There was ginkgo nuts, which I didn't know. Like, I didn't get a picture. Well, did I get a picture? No, I don't think I got a picture. It's not in this album anyway. But they start off like with a brown skin around them, and when you grill them, they pull out the skin. And it's actually green under, and it looks like a grape. It's not a grape. It doesn't taste like a grape. It tastes like. Actually, how do I describe the taste? I never thought about this. Not like a pecan. Huh, I actually never thought about the taste. They salt it. It's savory. But I don't know what other nut to compare this to. It's kind of on its own. It's like a little earthy. It's savory, a little earthy. And the texture is like that of, wow, I don't know what. It's not like super soft, but it's not super firm either. When they grill it, it becomes softer, but it's not like squishy. Not super squishy. It has some chew. It has some texture to it. But I think I know what the next picture is, because the next picture is like the most interesting thing I thought they have there is tiny crabs. These are tiny soft shell crabs that they put on the grill with some salt, and then they give it to you like this, and you just eat them. And it's like, I think the best way to describe it is it's like a crab chip. It's not made of potatoes, but it's crunchy. It's very crunchy, and it tastes like crab. So if you can, you just eat them whole. You just pop them in your mouth. So if you think of how shrimp chips are a thing, and that's made as a chip made out of shrimp. Think of that. It's kind of like that. Instead of making a chip out of it, it's just a tiny crab that's very crunchy and tastes like a crab. That's how I compare it. If they made a potato chip with crab flavor, I would say that would be close. That'd be close representation. But I thought these are cool because we just saw them when they're are those just tiny crabs? I don't think they were alive when we saw them, but on the square in front of us. But there was can we just? You just eat them? Yeah, you just eat them. I was like, okay, I gotta try them. And they're pretty good. You like crab? You like crunchy stuff? The shell doesn't really get in your teeth or obstruct in any way. It goes down pretty easy. The only thing I will say about this place, the one negative, it is expensive. And in my opinion, it's kind of a tourist trap. It's very fun. It's a cool experience. And I'm glad my dad paid. It's expensive. It's expensive. I don't know if it's 100% worth. It's definitely worth going once, and then you can decide if you want to do it more after that. That's the only bad thing about it. I'd say it's kind of expensive for what it is, but it's very fun. And you saw there's a ton of people, so it's not it's unpopular. It's a fun time, but kind of a tourist trap. It's kind of. But this place is called Inakaya, in the Roppongi district. It's very cool. Oh, speaking of Roppongi, so this was in a mall near our hotel. They had a light garden. Actually, yeah, that's pretty much it. This is normally a garden. There's a lake kind of center, and they have a statue. They decorate it with lights, and they go on at night, and it looks like this. It's very pretty. There was also a street near the mall where it has a bunch of dead trees, but they put lights in them. So when it becomes nighttime, all these fluorescent lights turn on, and it's the whole street is just the light, the trees and the lights. Everyone's walking down, and it's very, very pretty. I didn't get a picture of it. No, I did get a picture of it, but I couldn't use it because I didn't have the focus on properly. But you just gotta kind of take my word for it. Just think of a street, a lot of people in coats in winter attire. The street has a bunch of dead trees going down, and all the dead trees, because it's winter, have lights of blue and white, and they're all on at night. And it's very nice to walk down. It's very pretty. And then you also have this garden, which is also very pretty. And there's a lake around, so you can walk around the lake. But it was cold, so I didn't walk around the lake. Okay. This is round 2 of the standing sake bar. We came back a second time. Me, my dad, and a few of his coworkers, and we got more sake. This one you can kind of see at the top, right above the dog bull's head. Like it's kind of like frozen-ish. This one I didn't drink right away. You can kind of tell it's kind of frozen, but I just picked this one because look how cute he is. Look, that's a dog bowl. It's a dog with ramen in it. I think it's takoyaki. He has something under his arm. Maybe it's tempura or takoyaki. I'm not sure. I was after this. I don't think there's picture of it, but after this, we went to a restaurant called Nobu, and it was some of the best food I've had in my entire life. It's a tasting course place. Excuse me. And it's just like small plates, different tasting courses. Sushi, I think that wagyu, other appetizers. Yes, like expensive Nobu. Yeah. If you know Nobu, it's the high end Nobu, the high end restaurant. Yes, that Nobu, which I also did not pay for. There was 4 of us. Me, my dad, and his 2 coworkers. I could probably afford it on my own because I brought the money, but my dad was paying because he put it on company card because he can get away with that because he brought his coworkers. So that's how you get away with it. It's funny how he has to just put it's like 3 coworkers, and it's a business expense, and they'll sign off on it. As long as you don't put that I'm there, his son, no problems. Yeah, free food, very, very good food. Nobu is worth the price. I did take pictures, but I didn't like the lighting, so I didn't include them. But the big thing, other than the food was really good, we had sushi, we had wagyu beef, we had other food. Those are the 2 I remember. Oh, we had dessert. Oh, the dessert was interesting because we all got different desserts. It was interesting. It was odd. I was like, 4. One was creme brulee, one was like a cake. I think there was ice cream, and there was 4 different desserts. We all got a different dessert, and we all kind of traded what we wanted. But the cool thing was when we also ordered sake, and the sake came in a freaking hollowed out bamboo. It was hollowed out bamboo, and we had bamboo cups. I'm like, what? That's so cool. It's hollowed out bamboo. It's a whole stalk of bamboo. Well, not a whole stalk. It's a stalk of bamboo, and I'm getting sake out of it. That was awesome. That's the thing. I was like, oh, really? It's I don't even see the bottle. I don't see the sake cups are cool, but straight up bamboo. I'm sure it was treated and whatnot, so it's no shards get in. But it's bamboo. I'm drinking out bamboo. This is cool. I was very very curious about that. That's the 1%. I'd say it's approaching that. It's approaching that. However, thanks to the exchange rate, it's not that bad of a price, I think. If I had to guess, because I don't remember what the price was, if I had to guess, probably 20,000 yen. Taking into account the exchange rate was about 134 yen to the dollar. You're getting about a 30% discount. So what does that equate to? 170 maybe? $170 US dollars? Honestly, for the food you get there and the quality, for just a set course, the sake was more, obviously, but for the quality of food you get, it's worth it. it's so good. It's like if you pay that much in the U.S., I mean, you could get like probably a pretty good like 4 course meal, but we had like 6 or 7 courses. No, no, maybe it's like maybe 5 or 6. But the quality of food like is so it's so good. It's I don't know how do I describe it. It's up there. It's up there, and for the price that you pay, I think it's worth it. Definitely like a once in a while thing though. Not every time. No, no, no. But definitely, if you budget for it and you're gonna have a good time. Nobu's 100% worth it. 100% go to Nobu. Why did I take? Oh yeah, so this is back in Akihabara. I got the subway station. And there was this smell that came to me, and I was like, "What is this smell?" It smells like. It actually, I was like, I knew what it meant. I was like, "Wait, a caramel waffle," because there's a place near me that makes caramel waffles. And I look, and then sure enough, it's a waffle stand. But there's all these caramel waffles, and they all have different flavors. So like, there's caramelization on the outside of the waffle. It's a mochi waffle. And they have different flavors. There's like matcha, Earl Grey, chocolate, raspberry, regular, like the regular mochi waffle. I was like, and there was a line. I was like, oh, I gotta try it. It smells so good. I have to try it. So I get in line and I was like, I get to the end, like I want the Earl Grey and I want the regular. And it was like 170 yen or something, which is like less than $1 or maybe like $1 something. I don't know. It's super cheap. And it was so good. I was like, oh my God. It's a small mochi waffle. The regular was really good. The Earl Grey was really good. It had a good tea taste. Oh, it's so good. I was like, oh my God. This is just in the subway station. Like of all places, like right outside the subway, like that's perfect because then you open up, you get that smell going, and people want some, and it works. It's really good. Next to it, I didn't take a picture. There's it's a bun place. It's a sweet bun place, and they have red bean and like it's red bean and cream filling. So I got one of those. I'm like, oh my God, and that was also really good. That also smelled really good. It's like I don't expect. You find places in Japan like you just don't expect, like the subway station, like what, like why is this good dessert place just in like right out the side of the subway? I mean, I know why, but like it's like it's random, but it's so unexpected. It's so good. See, this is Tokyo Sky Tree. So I was on my way to Tokyo Sky Tree to go to the Kirby Cafe, which the pictures I think are next. And I was like, oh, that's a cool light up. Before the Sky Tree, I went to an Italian restaurant in Japan, which I was skeptical about because I wasn't sure how good it was going to be. But they actually had like their own wood fire oven to make pizzas. I was like, oh, well, I saw it on the picture, like, oh, that actually looks pretty legit. And we got there, and they actually made like really legit Neapolitan pizza. I was very, I guess, shocked and impressed because my experience with non-Japanese food in Japan has not been great. I will say, yeah, not been great, but this was actually like really good Italian pizza. I was like, huh, didn't see that coming at all. See, is this before or after my dad's work? I don't remember. We'll talk about it later. So the Kirby Cafe. So I ordered a lot of dishes at the Kirby Cafe, and I brought my own. Well, I actually won that Kirby at the claw machine. It's like the only thing I won from the claw machine in Akihabara, or the UFO catchers. So I was like, I have to bring it. To the Kirby Cafe. So the first thing that came out, I ordered like 4 items, I believe. The first thing that came out was this, I believe it was a sponge cake with like a fondant on top in the shape of the Kirby from Kirby in the Forgotten World. And that was yummy. It was kind of weird eating Kirby's face as a card, but it was like a light sponge cake and like like you can see a sponge cake on the bottom. It's like a little gelatin or something on top, or like frosting thing on top. I'm not 100% sure, but it was pretty good. It was it was not too sweet. It was tasty. That was the first thing that came out, so I was like, I was leading with dessert, but like kind of had to because I ordered 4 things, so I had to eat it. I had to eat it to make room. Kirby card. Woo! The next thing that came out was also the other sweet thing. Actually, not the both of my sweet things came out first, and this was a icy drink. No, that's not accurate. maybe like a snow cone is maybe the closest thing to it, because there's like flavored syrup around it, and there's little popping candies on top, and it came with a coaster, which is what's in the back. And it was a good palate cleanser. It was also sweet. So I'm like, what am I getting my two savory dishes? But they came out soon after. The first one was a pizza, which I was thinking about. I had pizza for lunch, and then I had this pizza, which looks good, and it's okay. The pizza I had for lunch was a lot better, but this is okay. But I ordered this because it comes with the pizza plate. So the pizza plate it's on came with it, souvenir pizza plate. I was like, I have to get it. At the time I didn't know you could purchase it from the gift shop. If I'd known that, I wouldn't have ordered the pizza. I just bought it from the gift shop. But they didn't tell me that. So I had the pizza, and I got the pizza plate, and it was okay. It was okay pizza. It's okay pizza. And then this is cute. This is it's a cream stew with like rice and the little egg omelet for a blanket, and you had the little Waldies tucked in, and trying to have a little nap. And I believe the Waldies are actually like cream croquettes. So that was like pretty expert. I thought they were gonna be like regular potato croquettes, but they're cream, maybe crab filled. I'm not sure. But that was also very good. So you had like the rice, the cream croquettes, the cream stew, a little egg, but it's just so cute. Look at those little Waldies trying to sleep, and I'm gonna eat them, and I did eat them. But I highly recommend the Kirby Cafe in the Tokyo Skytree. Yeah, the Waldies are so cute, so cute. The core was very cool. I wish I took more pictures of it, but they had like obviously it was Kirby themed everywhere, but they had like a giant Kirby plate. They had a big like blackboard or maybe it was a chalkboard with like Kirby art on it. There's a few pictures like Kirby and like with a chef's hat, and Waldy with a chef's hat, like especially made for the Kirby Cafe. Where I was sitting, there was a little plant with a little Kirby on the plant, so you could take a look at it. It is a good themed cafe. It's a fun cafe. You have to make reservations, but it's worth it. It's worth it. I finished my tea. And every time there was a birthday, they played music, and they brought out and they said happy birthday, and there was at least like 4 birthdays that day. At least 4, because I'm pretty sure I heard it more than 4 times. Oh, and the other thing I remember from Kirby Cafe, one of the waiters spoke English, and like basically fluent, because she came up to me and asked how my meal was, and then she started telling me like what I was basically thought was just perfect English. I'm like, oh, well, that's a nice surprise. I was not expecting that. All my other conversations with Japanese people have been like Google Translate and very broken Japanese and English back and forth. But then this waitress there spoke it like it was. I'm pretty sure she was fluent. Spoke it like she was fluent. I was like, oh, that's nice. She thanked me for inhaling the food very fast, and I said I have been practicing, and that was true. I've been training my stomach. I love the Kirby Cafe. 10 out of 10. I bought some souvenirs there. I bought like tiny little Kirby plushies of like the Kirby Chef Kirby and Chef Waldies, and I have them in my plastic. Still haven't taken them out. Okay, now we're at the zoo. Okay, before I get to the zoo, there is Duolingo. I don't use Duolingo. I use Google. No, actually, no, I haven't used Duolingo. It's just learning on my own with other apps or the textbook I have from that one time I took like one Japanese class. See, before I go to the next one, I don't remember where in the timeline this is, but at one point I went with my dad's team out for their work dinner, which is something that I get invited to. It's just like I just tag along basically, but it's a teppanyaki dinner. It was very good. Yeah, probably expensive, but like teppanyaki in Japan is pretty good. You just gotta find like a reputable place, and again with the exchange rate, it's pretty reasonable honestly for what you get. We had a seafood stew, we had lobster, we had Wagyu beef again, and I love that at the end. Like, so normally like I guess like in the US, you get like the vegetables and rice up front. At Japan, the rice comes last. So you get all the good stuff, and then you finish with the rice, so you're not full on rice, and you get all, and that way you're not like stuffed for like the good stuff later. They give you the good stuff first, and the rice is also good. That's not to say the rice isn't good, but they give you the rice later as like the palate cleanser. And you just like garlic fried rice or some sort of fried rice, and man, it's so good. It's so good. Okay, so this one. So now I see where to go. This was at the Ueno Park Zoo. There is in Ueno. There is a park, and it's a massive park. You can walk around it. And like I would say, like middle-ish is the Ueno Zoo, and they have a whole bunch of like animal exhibits. But they also have around there like a bunch of shrines, and what's it called? Think museums. They have some museums also around. It's a massive place. Also near here, I didn't take a picture of like it was like on a side street. I don't remember what the place was called or how I found it. I think I just used Google Maps. It was a small ramen place that used a dashi broth. Like I think it's like dashi and chicken or dashi and pork broth. It was so good. It was perfect. It was cold. Had like really warm noodles. And the broth was delicious. It's just on some random side street before the zoo, and it's like, oh my god, it's a spot. It's so good. So the zoo had a ton of animals. What you're looking at now is, I guess it's more monkey butt than anything, but there are monkeys at the top, and they were loud. They were communicating, I'm guessing, to each other, but they were screaming a lot for some reason, and people were watching. I don't know what they were yelling about, but they were yelling about stuff. And they were like climbing up and down the mountains, the makeshift mountains. There was a panda exhibit that thought we could see, but like we had arrived like an hour and a half before the zoo closed. So it was basically like my dad asked, do we want to stay alive for the panda exhibit? It's like a 30, 40, or the 45-minute rate. And I was thinking like, no, because I don't want to, because we're going to like not see anything else. And my dad's like, oh, it might be fun, but like then we don't get to see anything else in the zoo. There's so much more to do. And then my dad's like, yeah, you're probably right. So we walked around more. We didn't get to see the pandas, but we did see, like, we saw the monkeys. I got other pictures, but there was like hippopotamuses. There was gorilla. I think I included the gorilla picture. Tigers. There's a polar bear. There's a bunch of other like little birds and what's the word? Like other bird exhibits. I think I saw kangaroo. There's penguins, flamingos. There's a giraffe. It was a big zoo. They had a lot of animals. Oh, good. The gorilla picture's next. Yeah, this gorilla's he just has his back to everybody. He's just chilling. Oh, and there's the penguins. So they were just getting ready to go in the, well, actually no, they were kind of like edging near the water. Like they were looking at us, but not really willing to commit to jumping in. I don't know if we made them nervous, or or if they just were unsure. But yeah, they were just like kind of edging the water, just looking at us. But a few of them actually did go in. They're very cute. Oh, there's the kangaroo. Did see it jump a few times. It didn't jump a lot, but we did see it jump on its hind legs. Looked like babies. I'm guessing they're babies. I don't know. I don't know how big an adult kangaroo can get to. There's the flamingos. At one point, not like fighting, but like two flamingos were like kind of like pecking at each other. I wouldn't call it fighting, but they were like kind of like they were making some sounds. They were like pecking. They were pecking. Yeah, the zoo has a ton of stuff. They had like you walk in and they had like I don't know what you call them, like skunks. They had like a skunk and some like porcupine and some other like rodents, and there was also an emu that I couldn't get a picture of. And you keep going. Then there's that panda bear exhibit you have to stay in line for. But if you skip that, they also got like the gorillas, tigers, giraffes, like the African exhibit. Then they had sea lions and seals and other aquatic creatures. Well, not a lot of aquatic animals, but some aquatic animals. And then like they had the monkeys, and they had like a nocturnal exhibit that, well, we didn't go in the nocturnal exhibit because it was very dark. But it's a really big zoo. I don't think we saw everything. It's a really big zoo. Oh, is that all the zoo pictures? I thought I included more. I actually thought I included more, but there was a polar bear that was like, we saw two polar bears, and I think they were like kind of looking for each other because like there was like a door connecting the exhibits, but it was closed, and they were kind of just like walking by it, looking like at the door. I think they were waiting to see if it opened, and there was a sign saying that the only time they get to meet is like, because there's a male and female polar bear. Only time they get to meet is during mating season, and I think they're sectioned off rest of the time. I'm not sure. I think that might have been the case with a tiger, because we saw a tiger pacing, and I don't know if there was another tiger. I didn't see a second tiger, but there was a tiger pacing kind of like near an entrance. It looked like the tiger wanted is looking for something or some other tiger. What else did I not take a picture? There was some vultures, but I didn't get a good picture. They didn't have their heads out. I think they were sleeping. What else? There was ravens. There was ravens or crows. There was like some birds in a tree that I couldn't really get a great picture of. There was, I think, a rhinoceros. There was also some hippos. Like there's like pygmy hippos, the small hippos, and then there was like a full-size hippo. There was a few giraffes in the exhibit. Let's see, I talked about the gorillas, tigers. That's right. Yeah, that's what I remember. It's a really cool zoo, the Ueno Park Zoo. Like, if you're in Japan, in Tokyo, check it out. I found the International Seamen's Hall in Yokohama. So if you want to be an international seaman or a seaman in general, this is where you go. I don't know why this is next to the station, but here it is, and you are next to the sea. So, yeah, if you're interested where the international seaman goes. But also in Yokohama, there's a Gundam factory. Or this is where the moving Gundam exhibit is. So inside there's, let's see if I go. Yeah, there it is. You go inside and then, well, not really inside. You go through the entrance and you see a Gundam and it moves. And I have a few videos, but I decided not to put them in this album. But there are the other ones where it's moving, or one at night. But you can go up there. You see the people up there. You can go see the Gundam from the top and see it move from those balconies, which I learned was okay. But really, it was better if you were at the base level and you watch the full performance, because it does a whole thing, and there's sound, there's audio from Gundam shows that I don't know, because I only watch Shining Gundam, which I think is G Gundam, and I'm technically watching Richard from Mercury, but I don't know any other Gundams beyond that. So there's some audio from some Gundam performance, some Gundam show, or it's custom. I don't know, but it's cool. The point is, cool robot move. that's where you're going there for. And they also have like a little cafe you can get some food at, or just just a novelty thing. You're here for the Gundam though. This is from the balcony, which you can kind of see why. Maybe you can see why I didn't. Which I found out was like not the greatest view. From the bottom, you see the movement, but now I only see partial movement because I'm so close, and also it's not as high up as I thought. It's not as great of a vantage point as I thought. It's a good picture. Oh yeah, I guess that's also why I took the picture. Like, look, the city in the background looks beautiful. Yeah, I think I probably took a different picture of just the city too, but I think, yeah, this one had like the best view. So you can see like there's like a tower off to the left. I forgot what that tower was. And you get like the sunset overlooking the city. It's very nice. It's a very scenic view. This is what's getting a little later to turn on the lights from the Gundam. So now you can see like, oh look there, there's like the bridge extended near the cockpit, near the center. The Gundam is getting lit up. Now this looks better. Like, so you can see like, we see like, oh yeah, it looks nice from top, but from the bottom when it lights up, oh yeah, now we're talking. Now we get a full view. And like I said, it does move. The legs and arms all move, but I did not include the video in this album, but it's cool. And at night they played the Witch from Mercury theme song, the Yoasobi theme song, and it moved and it turned all red for Suletta, or the blood of the enemy she was going to kill. Maybe both. But it was an awesome performance. And then we went to Cat Cafe. This is back in Akihabara. And there we went to Cat Cafe. I had never been to Cat Cafe, and it's 100% worth to go to Cat Cafe. Even if you have to pay per the hour, I like you get drinks, you get unlimited drinks, and it's basically just stuff in vending machines. I can get Royal Milk Tea, I get Sprite, get whatever. They also have manga books and a Nintendo Switch. You can play games, and now you're getting in the cats at Christmas costume because it's Christmas. Look at them! Oh, it is so goddamn cute. Look, there's the books, but look at the cats. Look at them. 100% worth. The cats, they're just chilling. You don't bother them too much. They kind of just walk around. You can buy snacks and give it to them. You can play with toys. Well, you can play with toys, and maybe they will play with you. But you never know. But I saw a few people buy the snacks, but there's like some ice treats, and they'll come up to you for snacks, 100%, and then they'll go back to being cats, just lounging around. But look at this kid. Look how cute. They're so cute. They had Christmas costumes. This guy's just staring off into the distance. There were some cats that were just laying on top of. There's like lighting fixtures, but like there's clearly a platform for them to lay on. There's a few just lounging around there. This one was just walking around with my back to me. Because the green Maui couldn't wear shoes. I think there was like at one point some cats laying on the little like slippers they give you. While you were on the mats, it was just playing around with the shoes. There's another spa boy that walked by me. It's so cute. It's so cute. The cats are so cute. This is a very, very cute cat cafe. I am now a fan of cat cafes. So this is Mr. Donut's Pokemon donut. It's nothing special, but it's Pikachu. It's cute. Tastes good. It was a Mr. Donut promotion with Pokemon. And I wanted to get, I think this was on my way to Osaka. I wanted to get this when I was in Akihabara, but the promotion was like from like noon to 3 or something like that. So when I got to Osaka, it happened to be within that time frame, and I saw like, oh, they have Pikachu and Jigglypuff. And I was like, okay, I want like one Pikachu. I get off the train. Like, yes, I would like a Pikachu donut, please. It was good. It's yummy. Nothing special, but it's yummy. And it's still cheap. It's like, I think it's like 200 yen or something like that. I don't know. Prices in Japan are amazing. Okay, now, did I take no pictures in between? I didn't take a lot of pictures. This was obvious. This is the start of Osaka Aquarium. So, arriving in Osaka, I did like, what did this do? I went on the main shopping street at Dotonbori, went to some malls, went to some like otaku bars and like otaku music events, and then also went to Osaka Aquarium. And it's a cool setup. I gotta scratch something in my eye. What happened? I'm not doing much. Okay. The setup of the Osaka Aquarium is you go in and you take an escalator up, and then they kind of show like a layout on like when you get to the top. You start at the top and you go down as like you're descending down the ocean floor, and I thought that was a really cool concept, because up top you get like fish and like I think we saw some otters, and then the further down you go, you get different types of fish the deeper it comes. And yeah, I saw the capybara. I could not pet the capybara because it was an exhibit, but I was like, I've never seen a capybara this close, so I took a picture. The capybara, the coconut dog. They had penguins, but this one, I believe the brown one is that means it's a baby, I think. But the way it looked, it was kind of like they're kind of like stanced up, like just staring at each other, just real quiet, like they really just look like they're just like staring each other down, like, no, you little shit, you listen here. I don't know what it was, but they were just looking at each other like, no, I'm in charge. This was a nice picture. This had like a bunch of like coral reef fish, I believe, and you just see them all swimming around. Very pretty. Very, very, I don't want to say elegant, but very, very pretty. Very fun to watch. This is a motion blur picture, I believe it's the sea seals, I think. They were swimming around. It was kind of hard to take a picture, but they kept coming down and like going upside down and swimming back to the surface, so this is my attempt to take a picture of them. And they'd made like a few trips, and this was like the best one I could get. Oh yeah, we're already at this. So the deeper I went, there was this like big flat fish, and his face is really derpy looking. So I just took a picture. He's just like, huh? How I imagine, like, hello, are you here for the aquarium? That's how I imagine what this fish would sound like. It's just the. It's not the fish's fault. It was born with it, I'm assuming. But it's so funny. It's so derpy looking. I love it. I love the fishes, the way the fish looks. I saw some stingray, and I took a good look at like we got the face at the bottom. It's like, oh yes, hello. There's the derp fish again. This time a little bit better. Now he's giving me the side eye. He's giving me the side like, what are you doing here? What the fuck are you doing here? I love this one. This is probably one of my favorite fish. One of the favorite fish I saw there. Oh, this is cool. There was a whole bunch of these tiny fish. I don't know what they're called, but they're all swimming. It must have been like, I don't know if it's big enough for a school or bigger than a school of fish, but there's so many. They kept swimming. Probably should have taken the video, but I took just a still photo, and man, it looks good. They were so cool. They just all were swimming around, swarming. It's like I think like in Finding Nemo, where there's like a part where they go into like a school of fish and they scatter, and they just all like reconverge. They were doing that. It was awesome. This is another stingray, but the reason you can kind of see on its head, because I didn't notice this until when I took the picture. I don't even know how this happened. There's an exit sign on top of its head. I don't know how I did that. I think it might be a reflection thing, but I don't know how the exit sign got on top of the stingray's head. I didn't notice it at all when I first took the picture, and I was looking back. I'm like, wait, what? Like, how does that work? Like, I know where that's from. There's like exit signs in the aquarium telling you which way to go, but how did they reflect like this? I have no idea. It's cool, but I have no idea. Oh, and then we saw some jellyfish, and this one was cool, and there was another one. No, there was not. There was some other jellyfish that I didn't take a picture of, but there was like there was just ones like a longer tendrils, stingers, like more translucent, very hard to take a picture of because they are translucent. But they had the last like few sections were like when you're like real deep, and it's just like like translucent jellyfish. They also had some penguins in a different part, like towards the end. But it was like it wasn't as good as that penguin stand stuff before. Like in between all this, there was also round one. Played a lot of round one in Osaka because I love arcades. Let's see, I'm trying to remember what other stuff that I didn't take pictures of that I did. Went around with some friends to like the various some otaku bars. Like there was one place where like some like I guess like idol performers were making sushi. It's like some random place in like in the building. It's I don't know how, but I forget who found it, but it was like it's just like you take it up to like the 6th floor and you open up and it's just like a little like makeshift bar area, and they make sushi and other food, and like okay, and drinks of course. And then there was a very place we had dinner, like a rotating sushi a few times, and I'm really just remembering like the arcades. That was one of the main things I did in Osaka. Osaka's fun. Osaka is also very fun. Definitely recommend Osaka around Dotonbori or Shinsaibashi. Definitely worth going to. Now this has a story. So there's a reason why I'm showing just this particular matcha square. So this is a matcha tiramisu. There was a matcha cafe on what they called it was like an underground shopping mall. And there's matcha. I'm like, oh, okay, I'm gonna get matcha tiramisu. And I get it. It comes in this nice little box. Start eating. Yeah, that's fine. It's good. One of my bites, I did not. I'm coughing just thinking of it. I did not mix the powder well enough in with the tiramisu on top, and then I ate it, and the powder went directly to the back of my throat, and I thought I was gonna die. I saw that in the BuzzFeed video. Well, you know what? Yeah, it's like the cinnamon challenge. The cinnamon goes directly, and you just start coughing. It's kind of like that actually, except not as much cinnamon, not as much matcha, and I just start coughing, and I'm trying to contain it because it's a full place. I don't want the other people to think I'm sick, or it's trying to tell like people like I'm okay, but I can't because it hurts to talk. I'm trying to whisper. It hurts to whisper. I'm trying to drink water. The water's kind of up, but I'm still like coughing, and like I couldn't speak normally for a solid, I want to say at least 15 minutes. I think so. I think like 15 minutes. A Worth It video? A Worth It video had it? Oh, cool. I might look that up because Worth It. I don't really care for BuzzFeed, but Worth It. I'd like that. I like that. Liked. I don't know if that's still going on, but I like that series because they just go around and try stuff, food, and it's not really as clickbaity. But yeah, I couldn't. I was coughing. I couldn't speak normally for like at least 15 minutes. I don't know if it was longer. I just all I remember is just coughing and my throat and the pain and me trying to sing the piano. I'm okay, but every time I tried talking, it got worse. So I'm like not speaking. I'm whispering. I'm trying to make jokes with the "change the world, my final message" meme, but I couldn't even do that because I felt like it was my final message, and I couldn't speak it to the world. But it was good tiramisu. It was good tiramisu. A strange ordering system. It was me and a few friends. We had the group order and then pay separately. It was weird. We group ordered and like okay, and then we pay separately. But like we're like no individual order. Like it's like no, you order together and then you pay separately. I'm like what? Why can't we just? Like I guess they want to put it all on one tray, and they know who it's for. But like the same time I'm like, this is confusing. What? I would like just to order individually. So yeah, I almost died. Sort of. Oh, the curry. There, okay, now I'm getting into more food pictures. Because I had food pictures, but I didn't want this all to be food pictures, else we'd be talking about a lot of food. Because there's a lot of good food. There's a lot of good katsu. I had a lot of katsu. There's a lot of good katsu in Japan. There's a lot of good everything in Japan. A lot of good ramen, curry, like what you're seeing now. So the fun fact about this one, the place is called Irish Curry, and I wanted to try it because what makes it Irish? What makes it Irish? You can get Guinness and Irish whiskey. That's what makes it Irish. Otherwise, it's Japanese curry. But the picture, I will tell you the price afterwards. For the picture, all it showed, it said pork curry in English. All it showed was rice and curry, and I was like, okay, just pieces of pork in the curry. It's like okay, seems good. I had already eaten a katsu lunch. But I didn't care. I'm in Japan. I'm going to eat more. And it's like, okay, let's try this curry. Let's see it. They start preparing the curry, and then I noticed they reach into something, and they pull out pork belly. And they put it on top, and they smother it in curry. And I'm like, my mouth just drops. I'm like, what? I look at the picture again. Like, that picture is not topped with that pork at all. And they just give it to me, and they look, and I'm just looking like dumbfounded. They're like, all right. Is like, is this it? Is this what you want? I'm like, yeah. I'm just surprised. And like with what? And they like kind of like ask like with what? Like, I didn't know there was pork on top. And they're like, oh. And I told them like, no, this is a good thing. I'm more excited. There was also one worker there who was learning English. They were like taking like a college course in English. So I talked to them with English a little bit, and tried to help them out. It's very fun. Ended up spending a lot more time there because of that. But this curry was amazing. This pork belly was so tender. The pork belly was tender. The curry was amazing. The rice was really good. The price for this, 1,000 yen. At an exchange rate of 134 to the dollar, 34 yen to the dollar, it's like $7. Maybe a little bit more than $7. That's insane. And it was so good. It was in a mall too. It's like, there was a lot of restaurants around it too. I'm like, wow. Man, one, I got a sweet deal. 2, look at all that pork. And 3, talk to a Japanese worker in English, help them out a little bit. And they taught me some English words too, or some Japanese words. I mean, I don't remember them, but it was like grades. Taught me college grades. And I taught them the English words for college grades, like freshman, sophomore, junior, senior. I want to say it was like Nikkeisai. I think Nikkeisai was sophomore, And ichikesai. No, that's not correct. But I think nikesai is like second year college student. I think. Something like that, I think. Don't quote me on that. I'm not 100% sure. But this was awesome. 1,000 yen! The beer, I've ordered the beer. Oh, I don't have the picture of the beer, but it was a Guinness. So it was like, imagine dark beer. There, boom, Guinness. That was 500 yen. It was half the price of this. And for just double the price, I get this. It's awesome. It's amazing. I was very surprised. The other big meal thing, this was all still in Osaka. We went to another teppanyaki. I went to Tokyo like 3 times. Twice in Tokyo with my dad, and then once in Osaka with friends. And I got a lot of wagyu. You can see, look how red that wagyu looks on the right. So good. They started us with a wagyu slider, which is as it sounds, and they put it in a little box. It was very cute, like a little takeout box. And then what was after the slider? I think it was lobster after the slider. Had lobster, and then there was like maybe a vegetable or one more course. Forgot what it was. And then it was wagyu, and I ordered it was 20,000 yen, and it gave me like double like the wagyu of like the other ports. So I'm like, this is 20,000 yen, which is like $170, but you're getting some like A5 wagyu top tier beef. Honestly, it's worth it. And if you don't believe me, I can order A4, A5 steaks from a meat provider that like vacuum seals and flash freezes them, and they ship them in dry ice to where I live. And for one steak to buy is $120 for 12 ounces New York strip. That's just for one steak. $170 will give me like a 5-course meal in Japan from the teppanyaki, and I think more wagyu overall. I don't know how much it is. I don't know ounces to grams. Actually, I'll do it right now because I know how many grams I ordered. Let me do a quick conversion. Ounces to grams. Okay, so 12 ounces. Okay, so it's not... Okay, never mind. 12 ounces comes out to 340 grams. So I got 200 grams worth of wagyu with the teppanyaki price. Which, honestly, that's still pretty good, because it's not just that. You also get the slider. You also get... It's a 5-course meal, which I still think is 100% worth it. It's not priced that bad. You can find like a lot of good places, even like fancy places, that aren't that priced that bad. Maybe it's just the conversion rate from USD to yen. I mean, that's part of it. But still, it's like, damn! Look at that! Look how red that meat is! It also came with fried rice and like, a corn tea. That was the cool, interesting part. I had seen like a corn tea drink in vending machines, but I was like, I don't know if I want to try it. Then we got one at the end of this meal, and I was like, it's interesting. It tastes like hot corn tea. It's not like it's not grainy or anything. It's clear and smooth like a tea, but it tastes like corn. And it's hot. And it's kind of odd, but it's actually a good like palate cleanser. It also came, I think, with like some sort of ice cream, maybe pistachio. But the corn tea was like, you know what? That's honestly not bad. Not bad at all. I think I also had sake with that meal. And I was like, ooh, that's good. It's like good sake. But you can't really go wrong with sake in Japan. I wish, actually, one regret, I should have had more space so I could buy some sake or some other alcohol from the duty-free store at the airport. But I did not have any room anymore. And I saw something like, ooh, I can't find that abroad. Or back home. I can find it here abroad, but not back home. Like, damn. Next time, hopefully. This is cocoa curry. One of my friends told me about it. I was like, yeah, cocoa curry in the States is expensive, but not in Japan. So it was like, was it chicken or pork katsu with the curry? Pretty good. I'd say it's like it's above average, but it's not like, it's above average Japanese curry, but it's not like something I like. What's the word I'm looking for? It's like I wouldn't praise it. There was another place I went to called Go-Go Curry that had a gorilla as a mascot, and that was pretty good too. Different type of curry. I think that one was a more like there's a little bit a different richness to it. A different richness to Go-Go's than there was to Coco's. Names are very similar. Maybe that's on purpose. But they're both pretty good. They're like equal, just different types of flavor, I would say. This is also towards the end of the trip, so I don't know how much more is left. Oh, Monster Hunter. Oh yeah, so this is back in Tokyo, back in Akihabara. Oh, I just realized I didn't include the picture I took of Mount Fuji. I took a picture of Mount Fuji from the Shinkansen, the bullet train. I didn't include. Oh, I should have included that. That's a good picture. I had a very nice Japanese man let me lean over and take a picture in front of the window, and I thanked him. But there was a moment I had a real nice shot of Mount Fuji when we were going by. It's like, ooh, it was a good picture, but I forgot to include it. But when we came back to Tokyo, there was a Monster Hunter bar cafe, and you can get drinks and different food like from the series. They had the dango that they make from Monster Hunter's Rise. Was it Rise? I think it's Rise. And the well done steak, which is just a combination of like chicken and pork, I think, on a pork bone, and it is a big thing with like tomato sauce. I did not get that because it was a big thing. What else? There was like I think there was like a skirt steak plate. Ordered that. That was good. Then they had a whole bunch of alcoholic drinks. I think I had like 6 of them. No, maybe 4. But they weren't super alcoholic. They were not super alcoholic. It was a bunch usually like a bunch of soda and some sort of alcohol. Like I think one was ginger ale white wine. That I actually bought ginger ale and white wine when I came back. Like I gotta see if I can recreate it. And I'm realizing one, well obviously didn't add a lot of white wine to it, so it's not super alcoholic. Mine's more alcoholic. And 2, something's different. Something's different from the soda they use than the soda I'm using. It's not as sweet. Maybe it's a Japan thing. Maybe they add like some simple syrup, but something's different. The taste is different. I like mine because it's more alcohol, because it's more like half and half. But then I add a little bit of like, I was like trying to figure like, why doesn't it taste like, not exact but close. So I add like simple syrup. I'm like, that's it. Like right there, it's like the sweetness got enhanced, and it cancels out some of the bitterness of the wine because there's really no bitterness in the drink at Monster Hunter Bar. I'm like, they might be adding a little bit extra sugar to that. Maybe, I'm not sure. The other one I wanted to make, that one was I think it was the Kushaladora drink, and the other one I wanted to make, but I actually need to find this particular liqueur. It was the Narga Kuga drink, and it was pine liqueur and soda. And I was trying to find pine liqueur, and like, it's rare. I guess you can make liqueur from pine cones or something, which I honestly didn't think about it. And it was pretty good there, so I'm like, okay, maybe I'll try that. I shall try that next time. But finding pine liqueur is actually kind of hard, so I don't know when I'll be able to make it, but it was good. One of my friends got like a big bowl of sake. Well, it was a big bowl that was like sake and soda water. And I was like, oh, hey, that's how is it? It's like, yeah, it was more soda water than sake. I'm like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. And I think like some rose water or sakura blossoms. My favorite comment though was like one of the things he said like he got like an udon, like the quail eggs are good, but the udon's mid. The udon is mid, which is not good praise. But I guess you're not going to you're not going to themed cafes for like amazing food. But I think it's funny that it's mid. It's just mid was his response. Let's see. There was one. There's like a special cocktail. It's like sake, ramune syrup. Ramune is like it's a type of Japanese soda. What was it? There was like one other alcohol, and I think there's soda water or something else. And it was like a sangria. That was it. It was sangria, sake, ramune syrup, and I think some mint. Very interesting. A little bit harder for me to create because then I need to get sangria somehow, and I don't know how you make a ramune syrup. They probably actually made that. I don't think that's sold anywhere. But that was pretty tasty too. Let's see, what else was there? What other food? Oh, one of my friends got a parfait and it was a lot of whipped cream. He did not finish it. It's too much whipped cream apparently. They also, so the pictures of the Monster Hunter armor, they had that around. There was a bunch of decor. They also had a great sword. I don't know, I forget. I think it's like, maybe it's this Anjanath's great sword. But they had a lot of Monster Hunter decor. It's very cool. They also had some game stations where you could play Monster Hunter, but I don't think it's worth, like, you could go and play Monster Hunter there, but I think you just go and get the food. Oh, they also had, you should go for the food and like the drinks, not for the game stations there. But they also had those little robot waiters that come with the food, and they had little faces, and they turn around and you take the food off. First time seeing those, they were so cute. I was so happy every time one came over. It was one of my favorite. I know the decor in Cafe is cute, but the little robot waiters, yeah. That was it. That was one of the main highlights. Was that little robot. And this was at Mogra. I went to one of my friends kind of convinced me to go to Mogra, the anime music club, I guess, in Akihabara. They had some Kason stuff, so I took pictures of Kason. There's like Kason wall art, Kason near a Twitch logo. And I decided, like, yeah, let's try it. Honestly, not too bad. This isn't really my thing, but it was fun. The drinks weren't too expensive. A lot of people like Jägermeister there, which I wasn't expecting. And some people bought us Jaeger shots, but it was all in good fun. So I drank. I'm not gonna say no. This could be rude, but music was cool. There's a lot of standing. That's the only thing my feet were hurting at the end. But it's a pretty cool place. And then I think this is the last picture. This was the behind. So there's a top and a bottom. So the bottom is the DJ part where you're on the floor listening to the music. And above is more drinks and just a place you can sit down. You also hear the music. It's loud. And you can talk up there. But on the bottom floor, there was this. I don't know what this poster is from. But there's this poster. It's very cute. It's 3 anime girls. It's cute. This was like on one of the last days. One of the last few days. Because after this, it was like more arcades, hobby shopping, other stuff. And then I went back to the airport like a few days after this. And then I was sad because I was leaving Japan. The airport experience was not. Well, I had to wait. I got there early. And the counters to open up to check in bags were not open until like an hour and a half later. I'm like, what the fuck am I supposed to do? So I waited in line for like probably like 2 hours. Hour and a half to open up, and then another 30 minutes because the people in front of me, there was like a family of 8. No, not 8. Maybe 5 to 6. It's like parents of 4 kids. And they were checking all the bags, and there was one person doing all this lifting, and it was like a little, not like elderly, but like older woman doing all this. I'm like, oh my god, please someone help her. She was doing all of the baggage lifting onto the conveyor belt. Like, please help them. It's taking forever to get through this line. They eventually got someone else, but like after like closer to the half hour I've been waiting, then someone else came and helped on the line I was in. But what are you gonna do? I don't make the rules, and I didn't get. If I had known that was the case, I would have gone up. Actually, no. If I didn't wait in line, I was thinking about going like getting up and getting like a Yoshinoya beef bowl because I was in the airport. But if I had done that, I probably would have been in line longer. So it was probably better I didn't. I ended up getting like, they had like vending machine sandwiches for snacks. They had a croquette vending machine sandwich. I was like, yeah, that's good enough. That's good. Okay, yeah, that is the last picture. I think that's basically, I think that recapped like everything. There's like other stuff. There's like other specifics I did, but like it's arcades. It's a lot of arcades. Arcades, a lot of walking. Yeah, I think I covered most of it. So I think that's it. Tomorrow, so I'm starting off the new year with two new games, both platformers, Celeste, and then something called, I think it was like Kaze and the Wild Mask or something like that. A lot of the reviewers were saying it was inspired by like, or it looks inspired by like Donkey Kong Country, the 90s like platformer, classic platformer. Like, if that's the case, shit's gonna be fun. And I like platformers. Like, I'll probably enjoy it regardless. So that's the games we're starting off with. And then we'll probably fall back into Hades, Sekiro, Sonic Adventure 2. What else? There's other games. Maybe I haven't played Outer Worlds in a while. Yeah, that too. Fall back into that. So yeah, I think that's it. That was a good stream. Do I have anything else to talk about? I'm thinking. At some point I'll stream Fortnite and get my butt kicked. That'll happen this year. Oh yeah, I guess the goals. I put the goals on Twitter, but the main goals is like stream at least 3 times a week. I was gonna say 4 or 5, but like I think with my work schedule, 3 I can do, but I can't. I don't want to overpromise. Thank you for sharing. You're welcome. I'm glad you like the pictures. It's the best ones. I chose the best ones that weren't blurry or actually I just weren't blurry or were in focus, right? Because I saw after the fact. I move my camera a lot, and I need to stop rushing well, not stop. I need to not rush pictures so much. Let's see. Yeah, so yeah, stream 3 times a week for most of the year. I want to complete 2 games that take over 60 hours each. We can lump in Hades and Sekiro into that bunch, even though I started them last year. But I want to finish some more games this year. And then live tag, a new live tag, MitherVt Gaming. Friend's idea, I like it. We're going with it. Is it a play of Greenman Gaming? Yes. Do I care? No. It rolls off the tongue. Think about it. MitherVt Gaming. Look at that. Sounds so smooth. So any gaming streams going to be using that. Maybe I should have a live tag in general. No, I like gaming tag. No. The gaming tag is a live tag. I have decided. My word is law. Okay. I think that's it. I have to go to the bathroom, so I'm going to end the stream. Thank you for coming. Thank you for watching. Here's to hopefully a more consistent 2023 in streaming and games and all that good stuff. So have a good night. Have a good year. And I'll see maybe tomorrow. Okay. Bye-bye. Oh yeah, gorilla is still the end emoji. Still spam gorillas at the end. That is still, I should have put that down. Still a fact.